Yes, indeed, folks, this is the first wave of that release. It will absolutely continue to spread through millions of people in Latin America. It will go into this summer months is the oncoming winter months of the southern hemisphere. It will, in fact, become epidemic proportions down there, and you will see millions of people dead and dying. From that, you'll see it come into America and affect the dark-skinned Hispanic and Indian type of gene pools the hardest. Again, look at the demographics of 1918 and you'll find that the American Indians, the Amerindian groups, people of Spanish descent, Hispanic descent, were those that were hit the hardest and had the highest mortality. Pure Caucasian races, for whatever reason, this virus did not affect their lungs and cause the cytokine storm like it did in the darker-skinned individuals. Folks, understand this. This is eugenics at work. This is the policy and projects of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, again reborn. And look at who Brzezinski is. Look at who Henry Kissinger is. Look at who John D. Rockefeller and the Rothschild groups are all about. And look what this New World Order is all about, to create a white supreme race. Okay, I'm coming to you as a fair-skinned German to tell you this is not what God is all about. If you believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ, you believe in principles of justice and equity, that the Constitution is valid, that all men are created equal and have inalienable rights to enjoy life and liberty, then this is totally opposite of that. This is why we have to say no, have to stop it. Okay, so look forward to come back in major waves this fall, as early as September, October. Again, it's just interesting. This is exactly how the 1918 killer pandemic began. Starting in 1917, isolated pockets of disease and death among, again, dark-skinned Indian and Hispanic groups, which eventually crossed over and killed Caucasians who had some Hispanic and Indian blood in them. This is who was largely killed by this virus. And this is why it's been recreated and engineered again for this very purpose. This time, however, it won't just go back to its benign state. Why? Because it has been isolated now, it has been mixed with blood plasma cells, and now it's become weaponized to be used as a vaccine. That wasn't available back in 1918, so Mother Nature let it take its course, and it went back to its benign state. But thanks to Dr. Jeffrey Taubenberger and others, this has now been weaponized and recreated and specifically designed. A designer virus called the Breivik virus to target and kill certain genetic pools that the elite feel are undesirable. That's my message to you. Now watch for updates. It is going to happen exactly like I've declared to you. I promise you that it's the information is based on literally hundreds of documents and hundreds of hours from varied sources. Folks, understand this as well. They've done this before. They meaning the elite. And again, 1920s. America, it's in court records in places like Kansas City, Missouri, where evidence that came forth to law enforcement officials that medical professionals created smallpox epidemics specifically to ring the cash registers for people being ill. You see, in the medical profession, then as in now, no money's made if everybody's healthy. There's no money to be made from selling vaccines or Tamiflu or whatever medication if there's no looming threat of pandemic. There's no money to be made. So yes, indeed, making money is a big part of this. But culling the herd, so to speak, keeping the Earth's population at levels they wish to see, is also a very, very big part of this. There are, if you're of Hispanic descent or American Indian descent watching this video, even to some degree African Americans will be much more negatively affected by this virus. Folks, don't worry about getting your Tamiflu. It's not going to be effective, if marginally at all. What you have to realize is the same thing the elite now understand. It wouldn't be releasing this, you see, if they didn't have the science behind them to know how to protect themselves. And here is the truth. Oxidation techniques, oxygen kills viruses. Yes, there's certain things like silver solutions, garlic solutions that help as well to stop the virus from replicating. But nothing kills viruses in vivos as well as in vitro in the petri dish than concentrated oxygen molecules. If you'd had viral counts very high in water, for instance, or in a medium on a petri dish, the most effective way to wipe that out to zero and to break down those viral structures is through oxygenation, folks. You see, really all that viruses are, in simple terms, is structured proteins and structured amino acids. Proteins and amino acids can be broken down to its benign state and actually become a nutrient for the human cell if oxygen is present. I would refer you to the groundbreaking work in the 1920s of a man named Dr. William F Koch. That's spelled K-O-C-H. And his family's put a great website together. It's called www.williamfkoch.com. And understand that certain mineral structures called carbonyl groups react with the thyroid secretions, your hormone structures, and specifically insulin and glucose structures in the blood, to create vast amounts of what's called singlet or nascent oxygen molecules. Now, highly oxygenated blood cannot carry viruses to any large degree. So you see, it begs to be asked just how much the elite establishment knows about this technology. I personally believe that when Magic Irvin Johnson became ill with AIDS or HIV, and he visited Herbert Walker Bush's White House, that he was given some inside information on how to oxidize those viral counts. I remember well the Rose Garden press conference with Magic Johnson coming out and saying, quote, "I want to be a spokesman for AIDS research. I want to tell the world that a cure for AIDS is right close." I remember that press conference very well as a basketball player and a fan of Magic Irvin Johnson and Larry Bird at that time. I thought it was just a wonderful thing that science was now giving him the cure to stop his disease from going. Well, nothing's ever been said anymore about it. But see, HIV is a human immunosuppressant virus. It's a virus, folks. AIDS is a virus structure. Hepatitis C is a virus. Virus. Oxidation stops it cold. Now, with that said, we'll just allow you to go through and invite you to rewatch this video many times. Go back and again share it with your friends and neighbors and loved ones. Again, it's the most important 30 minutes you can spend. Thanks for listening, and we'll be in touch with you in a future date. Thank you.